All right, look, I want to play about 2 minutes of this Rich Eisen conversation. Rich Eisen yesterday on his show talking about the Detroit Lions, why he's falling in love with it. Actually, we'll play about 3 minutes of it, and then Jeff and I will share our thoughts on what Rich Eisen had to say. Here it is.
The bandwagon is starting to fill, right? The Honolulu Blue bandwagon. Say that 10 times fast.
Big time. Lions
but why not?
Favored to win the division.
Why not? They played the best football in that division last 6 weeks of 2022. I don't think I'm telling any tales out of school. That the Vikings, you could say, and thanks for the call, Mark. I appreciate it. Not to have you hang on and listen to me prattle on here, but look it up. You got the Google there in front of you. The Vikings record after the Munich game. And the reason why I say the Munich game, they weren't in it, but I was in Germany, and that's where, after calling Bucks versus Seahawks, we watched all of the games in a makeshift viewing room in a conference room in our hotel in downtown Munich.
What week was that?
It was, and the reason why I bring it up is that's where I saw the remarkable Justin Jefferson one-handed grab against Buffalo.
Oh,
that
okay.
game.
Yeah. So that was week 10.
After week 10, what did Minnesota finish? Like 3-3, 4-3, or something like that?
No, 5-3. 5-3.
What did Detroit finish in their last 8?
Let's see.
They might have been 5-3 too.
Detroit in their last 8, 6. Well, no, they won 3. They were 8-2
in their last 10.
In their last 10.
What about their last 8?
I'm
just trying to figure this out.
6-2. They were 2-6.
Brother, they played the best football in that division to wrap things up. As we all know,
they were 1-6.
As we all know, the Bears didn't win after starting 2-1. That's why they were drafting first overall.
Yeah, the Lions were 1-6.
And they have made some moves. Boy, do I like them. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, you bring him in. David Montgomery is going to have to come up with enough touchdowns to supplant Jamal Williams' 17. But a lot of those were like on the 2-yard line. I mean, David Montgomery could score from there too.
If you subscribe to the anybody can score inside the 5, then Montgomery will put up very similar numbers to what Jamal Williams did.
I like him.
I think you're not.
Am I going to do it? Am I going to do it? Should I do it now?
You're not going to.
Should I do it now?
They're the betting favorite, so it's not a limb that you're going out on. But
the Detroit Lions are currently the betting favorites to win the NFC North.
Correct.
That's what Rich Eisen had to say on his show yesterday. And look.
Welcome, Rich.
Did you hear anything wrong?
No.
Again, I don't want to sit up here and blow smoke up your asses, Detroit. I don't. But the reality is you have a very talented football team. You got significantly better in the secondary. You got better at running back. You have the 6th overall pick, the 18th, 48, and 55 in the NFL draft in the first 2 rounds. You are going to have a much better football team this year. Oh, and Jared Goff is looking like the number 1 overall pick, Jared Goff, early LA days. Yeah, I think people should sign up and get on the bandwagon, Jeff. I don't blame Rich Eisen at all. Spot on.
Yeah, him talking about that division, that's kind of one of the points we've been echoing for months. Their record in the division, if you're 5-1 in a year where you start 1-6, they could have been 6-0. That Minnesota game was theirs to lose on the road, or to win, on the road. So, again, Rich, welcome to the dark side. I saw a comment, too. This made me laugh.
What was it?
It was from Thomas Perry. I just learned nothing on WoodwardSports.com. And it's not a diss at Rich, but this is stuff we've known. We've been talking about. The fact that national media is now coming along and
everyone's going to pick up on it. Kay Adams, I saw yesterday on social media, giving a lot of love to the Detroit Lions.
Although I like it, and I appreciate it, because Detroit, as we know, it's the saying, Detroit versus everybody. Now you're getting love from all over the U.S. I want to get to the point, Adam, where the Lions aren't talked about. They're just there. You know what the Lions are. There's not a little brother feeling to it, right? There's just, like, you don't hear them talking about some of the better organizations. So I want to get to that point, but I love it. This is a great start.
I don't want to bring back up Jared Goff, but this is why I'm so passionate about the conversation. Brad Holmes can do all the right things. and be, let's say, compare him to Joe Douglas and draft an amazing defense and revamp the offense. But then they're average and below average at quarterback, and it ruins everything. I'm not in a rush to take a chance on one of these, quote, project quarterbacks, unless Brad Holmes is completely in love with one and makes the move for him.
I agree.
I don't think this is the year. I just don't. But to Rich Eisen's point, whether him, Peter Schrager, Kay Adams, all falling in love with the Lions, even,
Kyle?
No, Colin Coward's co-host.
Oh,
Mac. J-Mac.
Yeah, J-Mac, yeah.
I forget his full name, though.
The Jets. He's a Jets fan. He's usually pretty tight about things.
Loves what Detroit's got going. And again, forget what Detroit is doing. Look, Chicago, tough to really take them serious with what they've done. I'm not overly impressed. Wow. You went and paid almost $100 million for 2 linebackers. Last I checked, in the order of most important positions in the NFL right now, it would go quarterback, offensive/defensive lineman, wide receiver, cornerback, safety, linebacker. And you could flip safety and linebacker if you wanted. It's down there on the pecking order. And you spent all your money down there instead of linemen, instead of wide receiver, instead of everything else. I'm not in love with the Bears. The Packers, good luck. Good luck. And then the Vikings. I like Kevin O'Connell a lot. I like Matt LaFleur. But there are limitations with what they're building. If Matt LaFleur couldn't win with an, quote, elite quarterback in Aaron Rodgers for 3 years, winning 13 games every year, what the hell are you supposed to do? Huh? The NFL is hard, man. Enjoy being good. You think Bills fans are very frustrated at the moment that they haven't been to a Super Bowl yet with Josh Allen? Of course they are. Are they very happy and grateful, though, that they get to watch a really good product every year and compete and win the division every year? Yeah, it's much better than being the team that almost lost 27 out of, 28 games against the Patriots in a 14-year stretch. Okay? Jesus. That division is weak. And yes, it has a little bit of upside. But I'm not staring at the Niners or the Eagles in my division right now. I have the best quarterback in the division. I have the best offensive line in the division. I respect the Green Bay defense, so I'm going to say I have the second best defense in the division.
But you're closer than you were last year.
I think you're much closer now. And honestly, after all these secondary acquisitions, you could argue you're better than Green Bay. But again, I want to see it proven on the field. We'll see what they do in the draft. I'll probably be more
optimistic.
I'll just be more obliged to actually say it after the draft, likely, if they draft who I expect them to draft. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm on board, man. Sign me up. And again, my favorite person typically has most of the right things to say. But for example, winning divisions is overrated, Brandon, since only one team gets a bye. That's not true. It's not true at all. Hosting a playoff game is not overrated. Your chances of winning are much higher than losing.
And if you go off the Lions,
and if you look
their
at the
record at home this year.
Last year,
it's
who were in the
significant.
NFC and AFC championship games. Division-winning Cincinnati, division-winning Kansas City, division-winning Niners, division-winning Eagles. Go to the year prior. The division-winning Bengals, the division-winning Bills, I believe, the division-winning Rams, and the second-place team in that division, the Niners.
It matters.
Winning the division matters. Hosting home playoff games matters. Does the bye week matter? That's a different argument. But don't tell me winning divisions doesn't matter when this fucking franchise hasn't won one in 30 years. How about every single one of you in the chat, by the way, this morning, at home, listening, watching. I don't care what you're doing. You're at work. If you're at work and there's public and there's kids around, make sure you lower your fucking volume right now because it's going to get really nasty. If you think for a minute that winning the division doesn't matter when this franchise has failed to deliver one in 3 fucking decades, when this franchise hasn't delivered a playoff win in 3 fucking decades? You want to sit here and tell me division wins don't matter when your chances of winning a home playoff game are much higher than they are on the road? Suck my fucking dick this morning. Every single one of you. Good? Great. We got to go to break.
Well, if you want to go off the NFC North too, if you won the division last year, Adam, you'd be facing the Giants for the first game. So you don't get a bye, but if you want a playoff win, there's a way to do it.
You win a playoff game this year, you're probably playing the Saints, Dallas, you're playing the Commanders. I don't know who you're playing this
Regardless,
year. You go off of last year, you would have made the playoffs and won your division, you would have gotten the Giants. You whooped the Giants' ass in wherever the hell, MetLife Stadium.
Right. Instead of Seattle playing the 49ers. It's two
the
different
49ers, dude. It's the 49ers.
Yeah.
Tough luck. Tough luck.